Jackson Browne had a wonderful line in one of his songs. He said, "Creation reveals its secrets by and by." And that the whole idea is that, you can't push the river. You can't. When I was a little kid, I lived in Michigan in an orphanage, and we used to plant tomato seeds in the ground in the spring. And then, of course, in the summer, we would watch these plants just grow crazy, and then these little green things would show up on them, and then they would turn into red things, and then we would have these wonderful, delicious tomatoes. And I can remember talking to Mr. and Mrs. Scarf, who ran this home out there, and we would plant them, and then about a month later, about April or about May or June, these little shoots would start coming out of the ground. And I can remember going down there as if this happened yesterday and asking, where are the tomatoes, and I wanted to pull on the shoots, and if you try to hurry life or try to make creation come in on your terms, you'll destroy it. It's like the story I told not long ago of the little chickens, that we also had a chicken coop out there, and these little baby chicks would be inside the egg, and if you ever reached in and I would try to help them out because they're so struggling. I don't know if you've ever watched a chicken be born, but they're struggling, and if you take away that struggle and try to interfere with it, you'll kill the baby chicken. That's part of the process of its coming into fruition, and it's the same thing true of everything that you want to manifest. You have to practice. I don't know if you've read Wishes Fulfilled, but those five, those 5 foundations are really very powerful. First of all, place it into your imagination, and then assume the feeling of that wish fulfilled. And then don't ever allow your thoughts to go anywhere other than to, what's in your imagination, because your imagination are really your own personal preview of your life's coming attractions. And as long as you stay with that and stay focused on it and stay in it, you stop the rushing of it. You stop trying to make it all happen so fast. And just realize everything that's happening is happening exactly at the speed that it's supposed to be happening, on time, and there's no accidents out there. There's something bigger moving all these pieces around. And when you surrender to it, you'll start seeing it showing up. And a lot of the times, Levita, the stuff that you see showing up that you think shouldn't be showing up turns out to be the greatest blessing that you've ever had.
Yes, indeed.
So for me, it's like a synchronicity is like when you have almost a collaboration with fate, and things that you normally would not think could possibly be happening are aligning. And I think it's like, Mary Oliver, you know who Mary Oliver is? The great poet who lives out on Cape Cod. She's in her 70s. Beautiful, brilliant. Mary Oliver said there's 3 things to do in life if you want to stay in a self-actualized place. Number 1 is to pay attention. To just be in a state of awe, just look and just be, observe and just notice those things. And then it said, be astonished. That's the second thing. Just be in this, after paying attention, just be in a state of astonishment about everything. And then share it with other people. Those were the 3 things she said. And I think that when you ask about should I follow a synchronistic event, notice it, pay attention to it, be in awe of it, let it unfold exactly the way you think it should unfold, and then just share it with others. Don't hold on to it as something for yourself. And that's a great secret for living. That fear is because we don't understand the words of Jesus in the New Testament when he said, with God, all things are possible. And I always say, then what does all things are possible? What does that leave out? It leaves out nothing. We just have a tendency to believe that there's things that we can't do. Like I got a diagnosis of leukemia a couple of years ago, and and everywhere you go it says it's incurable. But I don't have leukemia. I go on the basis of how I feel, and I feel absolutely fine. And I'll leave this body when I'm called, and I don't go around with any fear about it whatsoever. And after reading Anita's book, which I've urged you to read if you haven't read it, The Dying to Be Me.
I haven't read that yet.
And it's like, death, oh my goodness, it's just, it's nothing at all to be fearful, even for a moment about. I anticipate it with great excitement.
One of the great lessons that I learned was as a young doctoral student from Abraham Maslow, one of the great teachers in my life, was that when he was describing people who achieve at the highest level, who reach what he called self-actualization at the very top of the pyramid, he had 2 assessments of them. One is that these are people who are detached from outcome. Okay. They're detached from outcome, and the other one is that they're independent of the good opinion of other people. Those are the 2 number one and number 2 criteria. Okay. Detached from outcome. And that's why I was asking you about the process of what it is that you do, of the digging, of bringing a plant back to life, of the excitement that you feel in participating in the dance of creation, which is what you are doing.
That's what I get excited about.
Yeah, and it's like it's self-actualizing people let go of the outcome. They don't do what they do because of how much they're going to make, because it's going to make them successful, because they're going to get on the bestseller list, because they're going to sell a lot of tomatoes. They do it because it's just an exquisite thing, and it just has to grow. It's